Welcome to this week's Young Church streamed service. My name is Kerry and we are at St Andrew's Church in Shifnal, and I am one of the Young Church leaders. And today we are looking at visions for the future, this week's theme being a slower world. So first I'd like to tell a story. After a busy day of teaching and feeding more than 5,000 people, Jesus insisted that his disciples get back into the boat and head across the lake to Bethsaida. While he sent the people home, after seeing them sail off, he went up to the hills to pray by himself. Late that night, the disciples were in their boat in the middle of the lake. Jesus was alone in the land. Jesus saw that the disciples were in great difficulty. A strong wind had risen, and they were fighting heavy waves. About 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came toward them, walking on water. Jesus intended to walk past them, but when they saw him walking on the water, they cried out in terror, thinking he was a ghost. They were all so terrified. But Jesus called out to them, "Don't be afraid," he said. "Take courage, I am here." Peter shouted to Jesus, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you." Walking on the water. "Yes, come," Jesus replied. So Peter went over to the side of the boat and walked on the water toward Jesus. But when Peter saw the strong wind and the waves, he was terrified and began to sink. "Save me, Lord," he shouted. Jesus immediately reached out to him and grabbed him. "You have so little faith," Jesus said. "Why did you doubt me?" When they climbed back into the boat, the wind stopped. Then the disciples worshipped Jesus. "You really are the Son of God," they exclaimed. So, our story today focused on Peter. Do you remember? When he first stepped out of the boat, he was determined and focused and was able to walk towards Jesus. However, he became overwhelmed and distracted by the winds and the waves and began quite quickly to get into trouble. This can happen in our own lives as well. We can easily become distracted from what is important to us. Busy lives, clubs, tournaments, widening social circles, and just busy, busy, busy. COVID-19 has forced us all to slow down. Some things we are looking forward to and welcoming back. I'm personally excited about Centre Stage returning. Other things, not so much. The commute to work, the rush of cooking a quick evening meal, and the dreaded work and school morning routines. So, for today's activity, I am joined by 3 wonderful young people, Ben, Eloise, and Bronte. And we're going to talk about slowing down and making time for what is important, family time. So welcome, Ben, Eloise, and Bronte. So I'd like to ask each of you a question. I'll start with Ben first. So Ben, slowing down as part of lockdown, what have you most enjoyed doing as a family?
Board games and movies.
Movies. And have you won at the board games?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And Eloise, what have you most enjoyed doing during lockdown as a family?
All of the cooking.
Cooking. And what have you baked?
Cookies, biscuits, pizza, and chocolate chip muffins.
Lovely. And who ate the most?
Me.
You did. Lovely. And Bronte, what have you most enjoyed during lockdown as a family?
I've most enjoyed being with my family, and we've been out to what was left of the Roman baths.
Yeah.
And I learned how to ride my bike in 3 sessions.
Yes, you did. I remember. So obviously going towards that, I've given you each piece of paper. What I want you to do as part of this activity, we are going to be making something called a family time box, and you can use any box at home. You can or use a jar, you can use a coffee cup, anything that you want to pop it in. You can decorate it with stars and anything you like, really. We've decorated ours in tissue paper today. So I want each of you to write down something that you would like to do as a family. And the idea is that every week you do a kind of a lucky dip, and someone picks out of the box, and then you go and do that activity as a family. So you're experiencing and exploring new things together. So have you all written something down? Okay, so what have you written down, Ben? Can you talk into your microphone for me?
Movies.
Movies. Okay, watching a movie. And what about you, Eloise? What do you like? What have you
Cooking the
put on yours?
muffins.
Cooking muffins. And Bronte?
I put down bowling. I haven't been
Bowling. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold up our suggestions and we're going to pop them in our ready-made box. So you pop them in there for me. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a mix. We've had some from earlier as well, because we've been thinking of lots of ideas. Okay, so Bronte, would you do me a favour and just take out a suggestion, please? Okay, and then into your microphone, can you read what's on your suggestion? Oh, the blank one, okay. Do another one. Okay, what's that one say?
It says bowling.
Bowling. So going bowling as a family. You can have some good fun and competition there, can't you? Yeah. Okay, so I hope you create your own family activity box and do a lucky dip once a week and choose an activity to spend some time focusing as a family. I'd like to thank you for all joining me today. And so it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from them.
Bye.
And God bless you all.